Chapter 6: India and the World. International society is formed collectively by all the nations of the world. In modern times, no nation can stay apart from international society. Cyber revolution and rapid development of means of communication and transportation taken place during the last 2 decades has dissolved national boundaries and introduced the concept of global village. Because of continuous increase in global trading, interdependence between nations has increased. Every nation has its national interest. Every nation craves for its unity, integrity, sovereignty, safety, and development. Every nation desires for security and welfare of its own citizens and attempts to enhance honor, self-pride, esteem, and reputation of own nation in international society. For the conservation and promotion of its national interests, every nation develops relation with other nations of the world for achieving its objectives. For the purpose of achieving its national interests and objectives, every nation of the world determines and maintains its diplomatic relations with other nations for the implementation of specific policies and programs, which is called foreign policy. Every nation, according to its capacity, strives to meet its expectations and desires to achieve new avenues of foreign policy. For satisfying its national interests, it tries to influence the power structure of world nations and their process of decision making through its active participation in international society, politics, and organizations. But the extent of activism and influence of each nation varies according to their capacity and circumstances. At present, in international relations and politics, populations, territory, natural resources, science, and development of the latest technology, economic development, market, etc., like influencer factors, are playing decisive role. Basic principles of Indian foreign policy. Every nation follows certain basic principles for framing and enforcement of its foreign policy. Cultural values like ahimsa, that is non-violence, cooperation, peace, and welfare, one world, one family, have influenced Indian foreign policy. Principles of modern welfare state are expressed in Directive Principles of State Policy under Article 51 of the Indian Constitution, which provides directions in the matter of international relations and politics. Accordingly, Indian state is committed to remain active for the promotion of international peace and security, for maintenance of just and respectable relations between nations, for honoring international law and treaties, and resolving the international disputes through arbitration. Number 1. Non-alignment. After the Second World War, the entire world was divided into two camps. In one group, the USA and its fellow nations of West Europe, and in other group, Soviet Union and nations of East Europe. Thus, bipolar world order came into existence. Both the superpowers were having nuclear weapons. A direct war between both the superpowers was likely to invite collective disaster. As a result, both the superpowers avoided direct military conflict with each other. Yet, intense conflict of ideology and power struggle continued between the USA and the Soviet Union from 1947 to 1990, which is known as Cold War. America wanted to promote and propagate capitalism and market-based economy in the world. Soviet Russia wanted to promote and propagate communism and model of communist economic development in the world. Both USA and Soviet Union wanted third world nations to join their respective group. The Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru adopted the policy of non-alignment instead of joining any group. The policy of non-alignment was not a policy of neutrality. As a result, many other countries supported the non-alignment movement. Many thinkers believe that despite the end of the Cold War, non-alignment is relevant even today. Number 2. Opposition to imperialism and colonialism. India is opposed to imperialism and colonialism. India has faced bitter results by becoming victim of British imperialism. Therefore, India has adopted a policy against violence, coercion, and exploitation. During National Freedom Movement, also India has raised its voice against colonialism and imperialism. We believe in independence of the nation by relieving the nations from the fetters of the slavery. India has always expressed sympathy towards the nations victimized of imperialism and also provided political and moral support and assisted the nations craving for independence. The role played by India in the independence movement of Indonesia and Bangladesh is the example of this. Number 3. Opposition to apartheid and racialism. India is having faith in the values of democracy like equality, independence, justice. Therefore, opposing the policy of apartheid. An injustice cannot be done to the human being on the basis of parochial matters like caste, race, color, etc. During his stay in South Africa, Gandhiji had driven the fight against policy of apartheid and had remained successful in removal of color discrimination. India had opposed the violation of human rights committed by the government of South Africa. India has always raised its voice at international level for adoption of humanitarian approach. Number 4. Friendly relations with countries of the world. India has attempted to maintain friendly relations with all the nations of the world without being influenced by power groups of the world. During the Cold War, attempts have been made to create friendly relations with all the nations while keeping away from power groups, and also attempts had been made for obtaining assistance in the development by building unconditional relations with America and Soviet Union. We have attempted to establish cooperation in peace and prosperity by creating close relations with all the nations of the world and succeeded to a certain extent. From the beginning, India has special affection towards Asian countries. Despite problems with neighboring countries regarding boundaries and certain other matters, our relations have so far remained positive. India has initiated cooperative development by establishing mutual cooperation with South Asian nations. Due to the friendly relations with the nations of the world, economic development of India has accelerated. Simultaneously, interests of defense and security are also achieved. Number 5. Support to United Nations and international law. India has witnessed dangerous repercussions of the First and Second World War, and therefore India has made immense attempts for maintaining peace and security in the world and has remained founder member and staunch supporter since the establishment of UNO. India has extended intensive support to the measures taken by UNO for maintaining peace in the world and has taken active interest in resolving of international disputes. India has always respected international law and provided support to its implementation. India has strongly claimed for permanent membership in the Security Council of UN. India has given appropriate support and cooperation in efforts made by UN regarding economic, social, health, human rights, human development, environment, etc. Number 6. Peaceful settlement of disputes and world peace. India believes in resolving the disputes among nations in democratic and peaceful way. India has gained freedom by fighting struggle of independence in non-violence way. The influence of principles of truth and non-violence of Gandhiji is also visible in the foreign policy of India. India clearly believes that the disputes between states can be resolved by mutual negotiation without resorting to war. It is essential for development and prosperity that peace prevails in the world, and therefore it is necessary to refrain from wars for maintenance of permanent world peace. India has attempted to resolve the issue of Kashmir through UNO and bilateral negotiation without resorting to war. India has also observed restraint in relation to the frequent mischief or infiltration on the border by Pakistan. Number 7. Principles of Panchsheel. The influence of ideals of Panchsheel is visible in the foreign policy of India. India has not emphasized on war but on peace. The ideals of international relations presented by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru are known as principles of Panchsheel. These 5 principles are as follows. Number 1. To respect each other territorial integrity and sovereignty. Number 2. Non-aggression. Number 3. Non-interference in the internal matter of other state. Number 4. Equality mutual benefits. Number 5. Peaceful coexistence. The principles of Panchsheel were accepted for the first time in 1954 by Prime Minister of India Nehru and President of China Zhou Enlai. In 1955, the Conference of Asian and African Nations was held at Bandung, Indonesia. There were 29 nations participated in the conference and accepted the principles of Panchsheel. In the year 1955, at Bandung of Indonesia, a conference was held between Asian and African countries, which is known as Bandung Conference. These principles of Panchsheel were adopted in this Bandung Conference. Number 8. Firmness of means consciousness. Gandhiji was very much formed about means consciousness. Therefore, influence of Gandhian thought is also visible on foreign policy of India. India does not want to fulfill objectives of its foreign policy through any kind of inappropriate means, but desires to accomplish its objectives by democratic method. India does not desire to achieve its own development, security, or international politics through undemocratic means. India believes that an appropriate goal can be achieved only through appropriate means. The determinants of India's foreign policy. Foreign policy of any nation is not formed in vacuum. In framing foreign policy, various kinds of internal and external factors play an important role. Some of these are constant factors, whereas others are variable. The change in national and international conditions, circumstances also changes policy-related matter of foreign policy. Depending upon change in world arrangement and balance of power, India has changed its foreign policy. After the end of Cold War, world has become unipolar. America has become influential in the entire world because of its own national power. Thus, for fulfilling its ambition, India has made bilateral relations with America very strong. With these efforts have also been made to strengthen relations with important world powers like Russia, China, Japan. Any change in internal governance structure and leadership change also takes place in policy-related matter. Number 1. Geographical factors. A. Geographical location of India. Geographical location of India is important in South Asia. Holding huge subcontinental magnitude, India's frontiers are marked and protected by natural boundaries, with mountain range of Himalaya in north, Bay of Bengal in the east, Arabian Sea in west, and Indian Ocean in south. Special geographical position of India is sometimes a blessing and sometimes as a curse, because of mountainous and marine frontiers, and also because of better geographical fertility. In comparison with other countries of Asia, it has suffered many attacks and imperialism of Britain by not keeping vigilance at the frontiers of North Himalaya, and at South Coastal has also suffered repercussions of it. B. Territory. In view of topography, India possesses many diversities like high mountain region, plateau, plains, dense forests, deserts. In terms of area, India ranks 7th in the world. Area of India is 32,87,263 square kilometer. Its north-south length is 3,214 kilometer and east-west length is 2,933 kilometer. Between the mountain range of Himalaya and Peninsula Plateau, alluvium fertile plains add affluence of India. India has almost 7,516 km of coastal boundary and 15,200 km of land boundary. Coastal neighbor countries are very important for economy and security. Therefore, intensive efforts have been made to improve relations with them. C. Population. According to the population, after China, India is at second place in the world. According to Census 2011, total population of India is 1 Arab 21 crore 1,93,422, in which 62 crore 37 lakh 24,248 males and 58 crore 64 lakh 69,174 females are included. 1/6 part of the world population is Indian. At present, India has become the youngest country of the world. 65% population of India is of youngsters who are below the age of 35 years. As India is huge in terms of population, it provides big market. Because of this reason, developed countries of the world are eager to keep and maintain the relation with India. Huge population of India is considered as a problem of overpopulation, though the proportion of population is very high as compared to available natural resources, but being a population, it can contribute in not only of India but also of the development of the world. D. Natural resources and climate. Natural resources is the basis of national strength. Availability of natural resources in huge quantity is helpful in industrial and economic development. When natural resources are not available in enough quantity, nation has to depend on other nations for industrial development and necessary raw material. Abundance of natural resources is available in India. India is a prosperous nation in the matter of mineral wealth. Our nation holds topmost position in the world in production and export of iron, charcoal, mica, etc. Resources like fertile plains of alluvium, dense forests, minerals, rivers, and oceanic water are available in plenty in India. By developing marine economy, efforts are being made to increase prosperity by exposing the capacity of huge oceans situated in south of India. India is having comfortable climate as compared to the surrounding Asian countries. India is having tropical climate. Fertile soil and favorable climate of India has made an approach of India defensive rather than aggressive. Number 2. Science and technology. Practical use of fundamental knowledge is called technology. To fulfill own necessity, human being is continuously searching for new knowledge and continuously attempting for the practical use of newly searched knowledge. From ancient era to ultra-modern era, continuous process of procurement of knowledge and its use is going on. As compared to geographical factors, modern knowledge and latest technology has acquired an important position to establish dominance over the world and to influence international politics. Science and technology are playing decisive role in military and economic strength of the nation. America has succeeded to establish dominance in the world politics due to latest technology. In the same manner, though Japan is geographically small but has emerged as an important power through extraordinary achievement in the field of technology. Research and development made by India in the field of nuclear energy, communication and space has increased the national strength. After independence, development of science and technology was given preference in India by Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. With the assistance of scientists like Homi Bhabha, Nehru had framed long-term planning for progress in the field of nuclear energy, space science and technology. Through nuclear test in 1974 at Pokhran, Indira Gandhi has demonstrated to the world the strength of India. Through Pokhran 2 nuclear test in 1998 by Prime Minister of India Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the nuclear power of India was repeated. India has acquired an important place in South Asia as regional power for the remarkable contribution in the field of nuclear energy, space science, biotechnology, information and communication technology, etc. Number 3. Economic development. Since last 3 decades, economic matters have become the center point in world politics. Trade as influential factor is playing key role in international relations. Economic power is included in the factors affecting foreign policy. A stage of economic development in the nation is an important matter. Interdependence between the nations is increasing for the development of modern economics. After gaining independence, India has achieved economic development in a remarkable way. India is an agricultural country. India has acquired self-reliance in the production of food crops as a result of Green Revolution. Along with agriculture, animal husbandry has also progressed in good proportion. Success of White Revolution has placed India to an important position as milk producing country in the world. India has also acquired top position in the production of vegetables and fruits. Despite Indian economy is agricultural, it has also achieved good progress in industrial field. Number 4. Historical and cultural perspective. In the background of historical traditions and cultural values, the corpus of present foreign policy is constituted. Indian culture is one of the age-old ancient cultures of the world, and therefore its cultural and values of decency are also reflected in foreign policy. The way in which phenomenal support is received from the countries of the world to the firmness of India to celebrate 21st June as International Yoga Day. It has acknowledged the culture of Sarve Santu Niramaya, that is, let all be healthy, of India. Role of India in the policy of non-alignment. Before discussion of policy of non-alignment, the meaning of policy of non-alliance be understood. After Second World War, decline of any state to join any military group in the Cold War commenced between military groups of communist and capitalist democracy of the West is known as non-alliance. However, policy of non-alignment is something more than this. In the policy of non-alignment, opposition is not made of every type of military group or alliance, but opposition is made of alliance with reference to Cold War. Thus, this policy was framed at a specific time in specific circumstances. Non-alignment is separate than isolationism. The policy of non-alignment accepts all kinds of relations, political, economic, other than military relations arising in the context of Cold War. Speaking differently, policy of non-alliance is not a policy of inactivity. Along with that, it can also be said that policy of non-alliance is also not a policy of neutrality. If the speeches of Nehruji after independence are taken note of, then he has determined 3 objectives of foreign policy of India. 1. Protection of regional unity and autonomy of policy framing. Number 2. Maintenance and development of international peace. Number 3. Economic development of India. Policy of non-alignment can be considered as strategy or instrument for achieving these objectives. These were 3 characteristics of policy of non-alignment. A. Refusal to join the group of Western countries or communist. B. To take decisions with discrimination or wisdom in the field of foreign policy. C. Friendship with all countries. The question is, how can policy of non-alliance assist in achieving three goals of foreign policy of India? In the opinion of Nehru, the policy of non-alliance was certainly to help India in maintaining unity. Instead of policy of non-alliance, attempt to lean towards any one of the supreme power was to create problem for the unity of a country by creating conflicts. Because in our country, elements favoring both USA and Soviet Union were present. Strategy of non-alliance had also helped us against the danger from our neighbors Pakistan and China. Nehru believed that the strategy of non-alliance will not only benefit India but also the world, and world peace may be in danger if there is any alliance. From the point of view of economic development also, non-alliance policy was useful because the policy of non-alliance was the policy of peace, and peace is necessary for economic development. Besides this, there was a possibility to receive economic assistance to India from both superpowers due to non-alliance. Therefore, India adopted the policy of non-alliance. India and its neighboring nations. Here, we will discuss India and its relations with neighboring nations. India-Pakistan relations. India has attempted since independence to maintain peaceful and friendly relations with Pakistan. Then also, many ups and downs came in the relation between both the nations. Several seeds of enmity were sown at the time of India-Pakistan partition in the year 1947. After independence, despite attempts having been made to establish diplomatic relations between India-Pakistan, three wars in the year 1965, in the year 1971 and Kargil War of 1999 have been fought between both the nations. After so many attempts, problem of Kashmir has remained unsolved between India and Pakistan till today, and has become the main center of tension between both the nations. Bitterness in the relations is also created between two countries due to the issues like line of control, infiltration, terrorism, etc. Attempts have been made to solve the issues of both the countries by bilateral negotiations. In spite of that, only partial success is gained. By starting train and bus service between India-Pakistan, steps are taken to establish trust between both the nations. Recently, Prime Ministers of both the nations visiting each other's countries in the positive and peaceful environment free from terrorism and violence. Through bilateral negotiations, both the countries have agreed to remove the obstacles present in the relations, which is a matter of appreciation. By strengthening the relations between both the nations, attempts are also being made to increase mutual trade. India-Nepal relations. Relations of India and Nepal are age-old. To make the relationship between India and Nepal friendly, peace and friendship agreement was made between the two nations in the year 1950. According to that treaty, both the nations have accepted to make attempts to maintain sovereignty, unity and integrity of each other by respecting them by mutual cooperation. India and Nepal share strong similarities in terms of religion, culture, history and rituals. Nepal had been the one and only Hindu nation in the world so far. Thus, it was very natural that both the nations shared positive relation. India too has helped Nepal in the sector of education, employment, health, power supply, infrastructure. The relation between India and Nepal strained earlier is again on the right track. If certain matters responsible for strained relations between India and Nepal, it was due to several situations creating obstacles and bitterness in the relations between two nations. Dominance of Maoists is increasing in Nepal. In economic and political matters of Nepal, intervention and domination of China are increasing. Sourness instead of sweetness in the relations of both the nations has also been brought by Maoist movement going on in Nepal. Nepal has doubted that Maoists of valley area of Nepal are having support from India. though Nepal is a small nation. But by way of security and strategy of India, its importance is very high. Recently, by forgetting differences, both the nations have taken initiatives to make relationship of both the nations strong and friendly. India-China relations. Besides India and China being two big nations of the world from the point of view of population, in the matters of economy and development, also they are biggest developing nations. In the matters of achieving peace, stability and development in the world, the approach and attempts of both the nations are also equal. The relations of India-China have witnessed many ups and downs. In the decades of 1950, relations of India and China were comparatively fair. In the year 1954, both the nations accepted principles of Panchashil in internal transactions and relations. In common search of peace and development, both the nations were eager to maintain fraternal relations. But the incident of War of India-China in the year of 1962 raised bitterness in the relations of both the nations. Then after, relations of both the nations have been continuously improving. Recently, a new era has begun in India-China relations. The small and big issues like border dispute and territory violation between the two nations are persisting. However, putting such issues aside, both the nations have agreed to take the relations to a new height by mutual cooperation. Recently, by successful visit of India by the President of China, Xi Jinping, a positive environment has been created for strengthening the relations between both the nations. India-Bangladesh relations. Bangladesh, situated in South Asia, is an important neighboring nation of India. Emergence of Bangladesh has taken place in the year of 1971. Before that, it was a part of an East Pakistan. From the historical and cultural point of view, both the nations are related to each other and having equal cultural heritage. Despite certain problems between India and Bangladesh, like territory and infiltration of people from the territory in India, the relations between both the nations have remained friendly. India has maintained relations with Bangladesh as a good neighbor. India has made attempt to strengthen mutual relations between both the nations by giving appropriate cooperation to the Bangladesh for water, electricity, and development of infrastructure. Recently, in the year of 2015, by visiting Bangladesh, Prime Minister of India has made an attempt to strengthen the relations with it by entering into several agreements. From some time past, a remarkable increase in the mutual trade between both the nations has taken place and both the nations have agreed to face together dangerous world problems like terrorism. Recently, qualitative improvement has taken place in the relations between India and Bangladesh. Some people of India were residing in certain enclave in Bangladesh. Similarly, some people of Bangladesh were residing in certain enclave in India. Regarding this, negotiations were going on since long time and finally settlement was peacefully made. On 31st July 2015, the problem of enclave, that is, province of foreign power within own country, prevailing on the border between India and Bangladesh, has been solved. 111 Indian enclaves situated in Bangladesh and 51 Bangladeshi enclaves situated in India have been exchanged. India-Sri Lanka relations. In historical and cultural view, India and Sri Lanka hold similarity. Sri Lanka has only one neighbor country, India. In Indian Ocean, strategic and security interests of both the nations lie. Since independence, India-Sri Lanka relations have been peaceful and cooperative. During the reign of Janata Party, special attempts were made to improve the relations with Sri Lanka. During the reign of Indira Gandhi, attempts were made to maintain the relations of both the nations. In the year 1982, the President Neelam Sanjeev Reddy visited Sri Lanka. In Sri Lanka, the racial conflict between Tamil and Sinhalese people continued from long time, and as a result, heavy disturbance was created in Sri Lanka due to civil war. In order to establish peace by putting an end to the ongoing civil war in Sri Lanka, an agreement was made between the Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and President of Sri Lanka Jayawardene, and as a part of it, India sent peacekeeping force to Sri Lanka. India has made every possible attempt to bring positive solution to the ongoing civil war in Sri Lanka. India has always made attempts to maintain peace in neighboring countries. Besides increasing stability and prosperity of Asia, it is a matter of importance that perpetuity is maintained in relations between both the nations. To strengthen the trade relations between India and Sri Lanka, an agreement relating to free trade has also been made in the year 1998. By visiting India in the year 2015, newly elected Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, Vikramasinghe, expressed the determination to take healthy relations between both the nations to a new height. India and other nations. In addition to the neighboring nations of India, let us see the relations with important nations like America, Russia, etc. Relations of India and America. It can be said that ever since India became independent till the end of Cold War, relations between India and America has remained fair. After the Second World War, the conflict of America with Soviet Union with regard to the power and dominance, America was eager that India joined its power group, but India adopted the policy of non-alignment. America developed aversion towards India with the prime objective of curb the expansion of Soviet Union in the area of Central East. CENTO, that is Central Treaty Organization, was formed in the year 1955. That was a military organization. Initially, it was known as Baghdad Agreement. The five nations, Iran, Iraq, Pakistan, Turkey, and UK, were its members. One more crack in the relations of America and India when Pakistan became member of CENTO and received economic and military assistance from America. Due to America leaning more towards Pakistan, India extended hand of friendship towards Soviet Union. In the year 1979, CENTO was dissolved. During India-China War in the year 1962, America openly supporting India, provided economic and military assistance. However, after the year 1963, once again the India-America relations ebbed. In the India-Pakistan War of the year 1971, America, while supporting Pakistan, provided all kinds of assistance. Therefore, relations between India-America further spoiled. Till the end of Cold War, many ups and downs have come in the relations between both the nations. With the collapse of Soviet Union after the end of Cold War, world arrangement became a unipolar. In the international politics, there is no permanent friend or foe. Only the national interests are permanent. Hence, India initiated attempts to improve relations with America by altering its foreign policy. During the period of NDA government, nuclear test was conducted at Pokhran by Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee. Therefore, America strongly criticized India and imposed economic sanctions and stopped providing all kinds of financial assistance. However, America cannot afford to keep permanent bitterness with nations like India. Therefore, America removed sanctions on India. By visiting India in the year 2000, the President of America attempted to improve relations through bilateral negotiations. When George W. Bush came to power in America, he started new positive chapter in India-America relations by attempting to develop healthy relations with India. Since last decade, relations between India and America have more strengthened. It is optimized that strategic partnership between two democratic nations will bring peace, prosperity, and stability in the world. Recently, Visit of America by Prime Minister of India in the year 2014 and the year 2015, and presence of President of America Barack Obama as a chief guest in the celebration of 66th Republic Day of India indicate strengthening of bilateral relations between both the nations. Relations of India and Russia. Since independence of India, relations between India and Russia have remained harmonic and friendly. Despite adopting a policy of non-alignment, its relations with Russia have remained intact and positive. During the Cold War, a treaty of peace, friendship and cooperation was signed by India and Soviet Union in the year 1971. In the international politics, Russia has always helped and cooperated India as a true friend in all fields. After the end of Cold War, despite India having made attempts to strengthen the relations with America, Japan, and nations of South Asia by making minor alteration in its foreign policy, no deficiency has occurred in the relations of India and Russia. India and Russia have maintained harmonious relations in various fields such as political, economic, strategic, military, etc. India has received an appropriate cooperation from Russia in the important fields like defense, nuclear energy, science and technology, space research, oil and natural gas, pharmacy. Especially in strengthening the military power of India, the contribution of Russia has remained significant. A persistent increase is also taking place in bilateral trade between India and Russia. Even in international organizations like UN, BRICS, G20, India is receiving support from Russia. Russia has strongly supported in public the claim of permanent membership of India in the Security Council of UN. By mutual visits of the heads of both the nations, visit of India by the President Vladimir Putin of Russia and visit of Russia by the Prime Minister of India, strength has been provided to the relations between both the nation, and bi-party strategic partnership between India and Russia can be proved to be nourishing to the national interest of both the nations. India and SAARC countries. 7 countries of South Asia, namely India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, and Maldives, established South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, that is SAARC, in the year 1985. Its headquarters is at Kathmandu of Nepal, with Afghanistan joining later on. Presently, there are total 8 member nations. The objectives of SAARC are as follows. A. To promote the welfare of the peoples of South Asia and improve their quality of life. B. To accelerate social, economic, and cultural development of the regions of South Asia. C. To provide all individuals the opportunity to live in dignity and realize their full potential. D. To bring collective self-reliance among the countries of South Asia. E. To generate mutual confidence between nations. F. To cooperate international organizations having equal purposes and objectives, etc. Thus, with the intention of fulfilling the above referred objectives, SAARC has been established. In order to make SAARC successful, India has played a creative role permanently since its establishment. However, it is also a reality that, due to bilateral difference of opinion of member nations of SAARC, the objectives of SAARC could not be achieved as expected. India has made all possible efforts to eliminate bilateral difference of opinion. As compared to the other member nations of SAARC, India is having huge size and potential. India holds the superior place in various fields like population, area, economic development, military power. Thus, member nations of the SAARC expect from India liberalized policy in relations and in practice like elder brother. India has attempted to preserve relations with the member nations of the SAARC by adopting some what liberalized policy too. India has kept the conception of let go in the matters of gain from agreements entered into with member nations. For example, India has shown generosity in the treaty between India-Bangladesh on the issue of river water distribution. In the year 2014, by inviting SAARC nations in the oath ceremony of the Prime Minister of NDA government, India has attempted to give positive turn in relations with SAARC countries. It is optimised that relation between SAARC nations will be further strengthened on account of good response received from the member nations of the SAARC. By adopting affirmative approach, India has always initiated in making the relations stronger with neighboring nations. After understanding SAARC, let us obtain the information of certain important organizations. Number 1. BRICS. BRICS is an international organization constituted of 5 nations begin Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Initially, it was known as BRIC. However, with South Africa joining this group in the year 2010, it is known as BRICS. On the basis of first alphabet of names of the all 5 member nations, it is named as BRICS. BRICS has been constituted for the purpose of influencing international economy and international order by establishing cooperation between member nations of the group in various fields like trade, commerce, political and cultural, and to defend collectively political, security, and economic challenges arising at the world level. Member nations of the BRICS are holding significant contribution and influence at regional and world level from the point of view of total population of the world, world domestic production, total domestic production, trade, etc., for the purpose of making available monetary lending and assistance to the member nations of the BRICS for different kinds of projects. New Development Bank has also been constituted by BRICS, whose headquarters is at Shanghai of China. From the first time in 2006, foreign ministers of member nations of the group met at New York. Thereafter, on 16th June 2009, first full-scale summit of BRIC was held at Russia. Every year, its summit meets at a pre-decided time and place of any of the host member nation. Number 2. G4. An organization constituted with the objective of providing mutual cooperation and support by 4 nations, India, Brazil, Japan, Germany, is known G4, that is Group 4. This organization has been constituted with the prime objective of providing support to each other for acquiring permanent membership in the Security Council of United Nations. All the 4 members nations of the group have worked for a long time as a non-permanent member elected for 2 years in the Security Council. Due to remarkable increase of influence in political and economical matters globally, all the 4 member nations of the group, a claim has been raised by them that they must get permanent membership in the Security Council of United Nations. It is suggested by them that all the 4 member nations of the group should be included by expanding the Security Council of United Nations. Number 3. G20. An international organization of 20 nations is called G20. In the year 1999, it has been established for the purpose of achieving international compilation relating to economic policy. USA, Russia, Britain, China, Australia, France, India, Brazil, Japan, Germany, including European Union, etc., are important members of G20. Every year its annual conference is held. First summit was held in the year 2008 at Washington DC of US. Turkey has accepted the hosting of summit of the year 2015. In summit conferences study, review and high-level discussions are held on important issues relating to economic and financial policy. Efforts are being made for amelioration of international financial stability by establishing international compiling relating to economic policy. Number 4. European Union. European Union is an economic and politic organization consisting of nations of Europe. Present European Union has come into existence in the year 1958 pursuant to the implementation of Rome Treaty. In the year 1958, 6 nations being France, West Germany, Belgium, Luxembourg, Italy, and Netherlands constituted European Economic Community for achieving mutual cooperation in economic field and European Atomic Energy Community for achieving cooperation in the atomic energy field. Thereafter, changes have been taking place in its name and policies by various treaties, and there is also a gradual increase in the number of its members. European Union has been established for the purpose of achieving the noble objectives of establishment of cooperation and peace in place of competitions and conflicts between nations of Europe, establishment of stable democracy and human rights, and governance based on justice and rule of law, etc. in the countries of Europe. Between the member nations of European Union, efforts and provisions have been made for mutual movement of people, goods, services and capital freely, prevalence of only one free market and only one currency. Euro has been accepted as a general currency in 19 nations, European Union known as Euro area or Eurozone. Presently, the number of its member nation is 28. In the year 2012, Nobel Prize has been awarded to European Union for maintenance of harmony and peace and conservation of democracy, human rights in Europe. India's approach towards crucial global issues, human rights, disarmaments, and globalization. Here, we will discuss India's approach towards important and principal questions of the world like human rights, disarmaments, and globalization. India's approach towards human rights. With the birth as a human being, a person is entitled to have certain rights. Therefore, these rights are known as human rights. Rights play an important role for the overall development of a person. Through rights, a positive environment is provided for development of a person according to his capacity and expectation. Therefore, it can be said that the rights are such kind of positive environment wherein person can have his wholesome development. This type of environment is provided by the state to the person. On 10th December 1948, United Nations accepted Universal Declaration on Human Rights wherein all human rights are included. The principal objective behind this is to create such situation where nations of the world give it to its citizens on accepting the rights. Acceptance of human rights at the international level indicates the significance of the rights. Therefore, we are celebrating 10th December as a Human Rights Day. India believes in rights of individual and therefore active for the preservation of human rights of own citizens. Besides this, India has advocated for the protection and conservation of human rights of the citizens of the world. Not only that, sincere attempts have been made for the compliance of the human rights of the citizens of the world. India believes in the Universal Declaration on Human Rights of the United Nations and has always made efforts for its implementation and protection. Always opposed the racial discrimination prevailing in the world, and India has contributed for the extinction of racial discrimination existing in the countries of the world. India's approach toward disarmament. Disarmament is the most important matter for establishment and maintenance of peace and security in the world. An arms race among the nations for increasing various types of weapons creates the atmosphere of unrest and insecurity in the world. It is indeed a matter of concern. Nuclear weapons can destroy the entire world in a moment. It is absolutely necessary that deadly and destructive weapons are eliminated from the world. World can achieve the progress only by disarmament. Generally, disarmament means a complete elimination of weapons causing mass destruction. Disarmament is such a process wherein a task is undertaken to reduce, regulate, and eliminate weapons. Besides reduction and elimination of weapons in disarmament, emphasis is also put on the reduction in the size of military force of the nations. The League of Nations had tried for the disarmaments after the First World War. Intensive efforts are being made by United Nations also in the direction of disarmaments. From the Hague's Peace Conference till today, many summits have been arranged in relation to disarmament. India has played an important role in summits, discussing and deliberating on disarmament. India has attempted to gain world opinion about disarmament during discussion in the General Assembly of United Nations. India has been wedded to the objective of world peace, advocating disarmament. India believes in the use of nuclear energy for peace and welfare of the people. Role of state with reference to globalization. In 1991, India has adopted new economic policy. As a part of new economic policy, liberalization, privatization, and globalization have commenced almost simultaneously in India. Let us discuss what is the role of the state under all the three processes. Liberalization and privatization are internal factors of our economy, whereas globalization is to its external factor. As such, both these factors are all three processes are closely related to one another. Let us understand in brief the concept of globalization, liberalization, and privatization. Generally, globalization is valued from the point of economic view. Therefore, it can be said that globalization is such a process wherein national economics is merging with international economics. Liberalization means relaxation of government restrictions. By policy of liberalization, government rules, regulation, restriction, etc. related to trade, commerce, industries, etc. are being relaxed for the acceleration of the economic growth of the nation. License permit Raj is removed and rigid governmental process for getting permission for industries, trade, etc. is relaxed. Custom duty on import-export is either being withdrawn or reduced. Privatization means conversion of public undertakings into private undertakings. In the process of privatization, industries, services, trades, etc. of the ownership of the state or run on the instance of the state are being converted into private sector. Interference of the state in the production, distribution, price control, etc. of goods, services is reduced. Firstly, we have to accept that just as state alone cannot bring solution to our all problems, the same is applicable to market. Both are having certain limitations. When state fails to reach, their market has to play its role, and where market cannot reach or fails, their state has to play its role. And where the state fails, situation it leads to like emergency saver emergency. In the wider interest of the society and for the upliftment and welfare of the weaker deprived reserved groups, the role of the state in certain field is important. These roles and functions cannot be assigned to the market. In the present phase of globalization, liberalization, and privatization, the role of the state is not reduced but has changed. In certain fields, it may have retreated, but it has to play more active role in certain absolutely important fields. Flow of globalization is not going to be stopped. It is the result of many causes and factors. Those forces and factors which gave birth to it and accelerated it will continue for substantially long time. It has advantages and disadvantages. There is a more possibility of disadvantage being caused to the developing nations like us. It has created a big challenge but has also provided an opportunity. If we are not in a position to stop globalization, then we must increase our potential and readiness for accepting the challenge, and the state should play an effective role for the protection of national interests.